Hey everyone, 30-6 here, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Royal Navy campaign. Last episode, we finally got around to getting some new designs down, as well as trying to avenge the Battle of Latakia. Um, what? Right? Yeah. Avenging that battle, and we're now even with China in victory points, and we unlocked this new heavy cruiser hull, which is quite odd. I'll put it bluntly. Uh, But yes, we were looking at different designs and trying to figure out what we were going to do about those new battleship designs we unlocked, and really couldn't come up with anything that we liked. So, yes. Good news, however, is that very soon we're going to unlock 10-inch guns, and I want to look at the hull options for the new heavy cruiser hull we unlocked, just to get a sense of what can I work with as just kind of a general reference point. And there's a part of me that wants to do this. Do quad 10s. And I know that sounds odd, but having something with to complement, I should say, something like the Valorous class with a little bit bigger guns, being able to take on bigger threats as a heavy cruiser would be nice. But I want to wait till we have the Mark IVs, which is only a couple of months away in game. Yeah, 2 months. And I'm also now back home in Florida. I kind of miss the snow already. I really do. It looked so nice outside, and I didn't mind shoveling. So, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and go for a couple months, try to get this naval invasion done. We're still low on many things right now, but again, the biggest problem. Yeah, we're giving Boadicea the kills. The biggest problem I'm running into in this campaign, much like during the Japanese campaign, is dockyard space. Because of the rules I've set for myself this campaign, I can't just make a new shipyard magically appear. And where is my notebook? Is that it? I think this is it. 1 second. It is, however, nice and chilly today. I'm recording on New Year's Eve. Make sure I've got a little bit of a backlog because I start back to work on the 2nd, and school's coming up in a couple of weeks, so I'm trying to get ahead of the game. But it's very chilly this morning. Which you might say, oh, but you said you're fine in the cold. I am. It's just, we didn't have the windows open up north. So, kind of makes a difference. And I was woken earlier than I would have liked this morning because they wanted to go to my brother and dad wanted to go to the gym this morning. So that's fun. Still got enough tonnage. More transport raids. Do boop do boo do 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 do. Uh, that's right. Germany flipped. Will you guys just freaking handle this? I don't want to have to try to buy that. Um, we really need to get those battle cruisers done. They're just sucking up the entirety of the shipyard capacity, and I still have more light cruisers to build. Like we're under, like I don't even have the rest of the destroyers built yet, and I need to build a lot of them. Double turrets on destroyers. Huh. Yeah, we got Persia. Okay, so apparently Portugal is doing a light cruiser build. So that'll be light cruisers 4, 5, and 6. For Portugal. PCO 4, PCO 5, PCO 6. Double turrets on destroyers. Could be interesting, because double turrets on destroyers would, in theory at least, give us something more akin to a gunboat destroyer that we could start working with. Which is an interesting thought. The heck is that name? Jarre Giberi? Jarre Giberi? Ugh. Trying to pronounce that makes my tongue tie up. Alright. Oh, perfect. More things we can go after. Middle Congo. Do I have any fleets nearby? Um, could keep a fleet in the Persian Gulf. But I'm gonna send... Where's my most modern ships? You guys are old. Go to Middle Congo. And Portuguese Congo. We're gonna go take that stuff. We'll just double up the invasion. It'll be fine. Then the rest of you, who's this? The Ocean class. Return to Singapore. You're all lions and iron dukes. You're from Port Said, so you guys must be the Mediterranean fleet. Who else is here? You guys are lions and iron dukes. How big is Hangzhou? Alright. We'll leave that fleet there. What is this fleet? Trafalgars. I'm going to move back to Keelung. Just get them out of the way until I figure out what I'm going to do with them. Leave the submarines there, let the fleets just kind of handle this stuff. What is this? These are the rest of... Alright, that's fine. Go forward again. Try to get... Really? You signed with the Ottomans? I don't think that's a wise idea. Kinda want all of Anatolia, but alright, fine. Can the army, like... Someone contact Burma and Thailand Command and just have them move in as well. See, it's fine when it's not my ships being sunk by submarines. We'll give it to E-26. That's a lie. It's not fine, but oh well. Let's see here. 110,000 victory points even. Where are you guys from? You guys are all older ships. You all, Iron Dukes. How big is Port Said? 212. Alexandria's 148, so we'll just base the Pacific, Mediterranean fleet out of Alexandria and Port Said. Let's look at that heavy cruiser hull again. The heavy cruiser 2, I think it was. Just to see what we can do with it. Actually, I want to test something first. What could we do if we had, let's say, dual fours? Just, I know we're about to get quad launchers. I'm just playing around here with the design. Okay. Actually looks like a fairly reasonable destroyer. This confounds me. Hmm. Honestly, I think it'd be better to wait for a bigger hull. I'm gonna be honest. Alright, let's try this heavy cruiser. It'd be smaller than the Avengers. We can fix that. 15,000 ton heavy cruiser. Seems, I would say excessive, but frankly, this entire fleet is the epitome of excessive. I, oh, that's sneaky. Sneak a torpedo launcher right there. Put like a secondary gun there? Could. Hmm. That 10-inch gun kind of goes over. Could, in theory, do something less vicious. Is this angry? Oh, Christ. It's just that overhang I don't like. Two 10-inch dual guns? Effectively be a pocket battleship. I think I'd rather go with 8-inch triples at this rate. It's kind of a general purpose heavy cruiser, I suppose. But then what? These are really, these are technically considered small guns. So, with that in mind, we'd have to go all the way up the chain back up to 8-inch guns. See, I'm looking at this right now, and the only thing in my mind is that one little word I've been repeating basically the entire campaign. Oh no. Close some things here. Maybe that'll help. God bless. It said earlier my encoder settings were too high, which is a strange thing to say. But please don't crash. Alright. Are we okay? Um... See, I'm not sure what's doing it, because everything else looks fine. Um... Is it my drivers? What's wrong here? Come on, sweetheart. I will be back in a second once the game has stopped deciding to have a seizure. Back. I did some thinking, and as much as I liked the way that design was going, I don't think it's practical. I'm gonna be honest, it's not practical. But having something with maybe 10-inch triples, pocket BB, maybe this is our pocket battleship. Which is a weird thing to say because the Exemplar class is kind of already that. But maybe approaching it from a different angle could work. Like let's say two 10-inch triples Here's your main battery. Secondary, or what I guess you could call secondary battery, 6-inch triples. Yes, I know technically it's a main gun, and so it'll suffer from some penalties. But that's a lot of firepower. Now, we can increase that. Loosely in the use of the word increased. And do a secondary battery of, what is that, 4 triple 4-inch guns? And find some spots for some 2s. And then downsize the 2s. Oh. Maybe we put that torpedo here? Maybe not. Maybe instead, a dual AA gun there just to kind of function to protect the rear. Now, a little bit on the aft heavy side, nothing we can't fix. A little chicanery. We can do that. I guess these would be kind of like the role I'm imagining these in, and bear with me here, folks, as I'm trying to think out loud about why the Royal Navy would design the ship this way. This would be designed to lead cruiser squadrons. Like, take the Mediterranean, or maybe not the Mediterranean, maybe like Indian Ocean, Horn of Africa, South Africa, the Caribbean, maybe ports in East Asia, right? Where you can't have something where it's not really practical to put something like an exemplar class or maybe a battleship. It's not practical to set something out there that's so obscenely big. So instead, you compromise by having something capable of leading cruisers like the Avenger class, or the Carlisles, or the Carysford, or the Skirmishers, right? So you have something that is more practical to act as a command ship. Like this would be the command ship for, you know, a squadron of cruisers. So you'd have a squadron, and this would be the command ship. Now, you wouldn't necessarily worry about it not having a big secondary gun here. You wouldn't necessarily be that way because I'm sure that maybe in wartime constraints, maybe they say, okay, bring her back to London. We're going to switch these out with 8-inchers or something like that. Like, I would imagine that this ship would be easily have the opportunity to put more stuff in these spots. Like, maybe you have a 4-inch gun here, but you have a bunch of like small um maybe you have a couple mounts like here and here where these rafts are. You replace them with kind of some light mountings for maybe 20 millimeter Oerlikons if you were designing a US cruiser, right? For more AA. Maybe 20 millimeter Oerlikon like over here, and maybe like 2 Oerlikon mounts right here, just to act as AA guns. Because then this still has a lot of freedom of movement, it has a lot of firing it can still do, but it doesn't interfere with the big guns, and this would be your main armament. And I quite like that idea because it actually is sound, which making a sound design ship for me is something akin to a miracle. The problem is they're smaller than their contemporaries, so I'm a bring these guys up to uh, a little bit. Bring these guys up to 15-4. Like, I wouldn't sit a 2-inch gun there as much as I think about it. Like, maybe here you've got like a little something that can like fold out to act as maybe you got some machine guns, like light machine guns here to act as to ward off like patrol boats or something. Like this is designed to lead small task forces, which is kind of where I'm thinking about going with this design because I'm quite fond of it. How fast? I think 28 knots is fine. Gives it good speed. It's able to keep up with battle cruisers. So if let's say, I don't know, let's say an exemplar class battle cruiser and her task force of maybe Avenger class cruisers and maybe a bunch of light cruisers showed up and says, "Hey, we need something with some more firepower. We need to get more escort ships." The two squadrons would join up. Like that's how I'm thinking about this. And it makes sense. Like as I'm saying it out loud, it makes a lot of sense to me. Because that's how I would design this ship. Like again, I am not in the Navy. I don't know naval design. I can just think off the cuff about how I would design the ship. Its role if I had this in my Navy. This would be something to lead cruiser squadrons independently of something like a battleship, a battle cruiser, or the like. It's not quite a pocket battleship, but it's more than capable of kind of, doing its own thing. We don't need that much range. It's a little excessive, although that is kind of the running theme of this campaign. I would like it armored, though, because it's going to be leading. We're overweight. That helps. I'd imagine down here they'd have like 20 mm mouths. Maybe 5 and 5? That's part of the problem. Do we really need anti-torp 3? I don't think so. I go up to 6 on these without overloading everything. Yeah, maybe. That's a bit too much. Okay. I haven't adjusted the gun size yet. 20 kilometers. What if I cut these down to 45s? Okay. Hmm. Maybe natural? Reduced. Alright. We're still 100 tons overweight. Let's trust. Hmm. It doesn't have depth charges. It doesn't need them. Can be 5-inch inner belt. Oh, okay. These are supposed to be triples. Okay. 8-inch gun. Effectiveness. So just thinking about this out loud. 10-inch 45 caliber gun with, what is this, Cap 2, I think? Cap Ballistic 2. At 10,000, penetration on the belt would be 9.1 inches. At ideal angle, ideal accuracy, ideal conditions, 9.1. 8-inch main belt with a 4-inch inner belt with a 2-inch second inner belt would give an armor effectiveness, or an armor equaling to roughly 14 inches, which would put us all the way down to 2,500 meters before things would start getting fully through. Conning Tower needs to be more armored. With 10, it'd be 16. So I think we can stick with 8. We should be fine. Get back some range. No. Mm, It's 30% armor effectiveness. Against 130% armor effectiveness. Or armor quality. So same guns, ideal ranges. About 2 rounds a minute. Assuming 10 kilometers, 10 kilometer range. If we get hit by an AP shell of the same strength, the exact same ideal range, 9.1 hits the second inner belt and stops. It would partial pen the second belt, but it wouldn't go through. And we'd still have another 2-inch belt beyond that. So theoretically, we are safe, in air quotes, until about 2,000 meters, which we should never be combating at against something of equal power. I guess kind of our cruiser lead. Sure. The Antrim class. That's fine. I'll change the names if I decide to do it. I don't know. Maybe the designer was, or maybe that's the code name of the project. Project Antrim. Uh, what torpedo tubes? I want to get a new destroyer hull because I think that could solve some problems. But in the meantime, we do need more destroyers. So the Orford class. I'm just gonna put them in one port. We'll separate them out as we need them. It's about 60 something thousand tons. We need something close to home. New Haven. We'll split them up as needed because we're gonna reorganize the battle fleets anyway. Coincidence 4. There we go. Now we're starting to move forward. We'll give that one to the 24. See, I'm not upset if something like this happens. Like if I have a battleship out by its lonesome and a submarine sinks it, I'm not mad about that. But if I have an entire fleet equipped with depth charges and stuff, that's a little stupid. Korean Empire is now just in North Korea, which is strange. Don't read into that too much. More shipyard capacity, please. Mark 4.2s? Mark 4.2s. Those would be nice to have. Okay. This fleet of ocean-class battleships to blockade Timor. This fleet. Need Trafalgar. Need to move somewhere. Go to Bangkok for now. To figure out what to do with you. All submarines return to base, please. Thank you. These are all coastal submarines anyway. We'll need long-range ones, and I'll find a base for them. Turboelectric geared steam turbines. What is the gas propulsion system for? Oh, torpedo propulsion. Okay. It's like, the heck did it unlock? Guess we keep going. There's a lot of transports. Sure. It's not like I'm building any. think they ordered a Bulwark class as their first battleship. Or Portugal, rather. 16 months left on the Dominions, 4 months left on the new destroyer uh, batch. No, keep going. You want to order another? That's fine. That's fine too. I don't think you understand. I want the Congo. Okay. Another Canopus class. What was he in that design? Oh, right. Okay. Status. Uh, Patria. An Ottoman Empire ordered two. Boilers? But this would just be fuel. Or better funnel capacity. Advanced propeller shaft 3. Eh. Those battle cruisers need to get done. Should probably space them out a lot more, but I like doing it in batches so they're all ready at the same time. No. Alright, where's this China fleet that's roaming? There's a Chinese fleet somewhere. Are you it? Are you it? No, they're all kind of spread out. That's fine. Just blockade them. And keep going forward. See if anything interesting happens. Ships are done repairing. That's good. No, 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 no. Huge strike. Mark 4 twos. Okay, I think we're on the cusp of getting an alliance with the US. I'm gonna try it. Is this something important? Like, I don't know, auto? No. Hold on a second. Hold on just 1 second. Alright, we're back. Just had to answer a question. Fold one more turn so I can get the Meeting. What is this? Battlecruiser Devastation. .21-inch torpedoes. Do you want an Iron Duke? Oh, there's a lot of profit. It's only 28,000 tons. Sure. $13 months left on the Dominions. Still nothing interesting. Where is China? Let's do that at the same time. The Legend class battlecruiser, huh? Making $6 billion a month. We're at $500 billion in the bank, which is a little ridiculous. Although the word excessive is becoming the mantra of this campaign at this rate. Uh, Plenty of tonnage. New destroyer? Yes, Destroyer 4. I think we'll go for the 3 months, then maybe design the destroyer. Maybe. No. Let's go fight this. Let's go fight this. And you know what? I'm gonna let the battleships just battle it out. I don't care. We'll hold the light cruisers and whatnot in reserve. We'll be fine. Give the game a minute to think. Unless it's gonna try to crash again. I think it's... Yeah, it's having a stroke. Give me a second. Okay, I fixed it. Alright. Battleships do this. Terror, you're a Dreadnought class, right? Yes. And Dreadnoughts here. Station, I think you're a Lion or one of them. Jiangming Tang. Let's take a look at this ship. Yeah, this is one of the all big gun battleships. Not a bad design. Battleships take care of this. Fire armor piercing. We're getting hits in. What's the armor bow? 13-inch main bow. That's a lot. I'm a lot of freeboard waves right now. We got flooding on the Sing Chu. Oh, this is a new one. Well, besides the fact that turret just blew up, or two turrets blew up. Alright, so in theory, wing turrets. 4 wing turrets, I guess? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Interesting. Yes, this thing has many wing turrets. Another flash fire. Just popping off. Not in a good way. I think she just lost all of her turrets. She did just now. Devastation. You're firing the Sing Chu. Keep firing armor piercing. It seems to be working the best. More flooding. More flooding. Auto fire. Just regular fire. Not too bad. See, Shu goes down to devastation. I think they're just setting the entire ship on fire at this rate. Destruction? Interesting. I'll go to whoever did more damage. I'll give it to Dreadnought, I guess. Okay. Nice. Alright, I think I'm going to end the episode here. Next episode, we'll look at designing a new destroyer with quadruple tubes. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.